Peace to the guys and goddesses. Listen, y'all, I need you guys to understand something, especially my brothers and the youth that's coming up out here. Before gang signs, our ancestors knew the science and the power behind using hand mudras, signs, and symbols. Our hands are connected to every organ in our body. It's like playing a piano. Each key is different. Signs and symbols was used in a form of communication with inner frequencies that give off different vibrations. I mean, all of the elites know our science. Some even have you thinking that is demonic. But what we gonna do is we gonna untwist this and flip it. We ain't throwing up gang signs no more. We throwing up hand mudras. So, screenshot this picture and then follow Seti Ali for more knowledge and wisdom. And listen to my brother Dolo as he break down some of the signs and symbols.
These are actions. This right here, this sign means that I'm dealing with the physical. If you was locked up and the chain was locked up to your arms and you had to sit down and wait for court, you'll see people doing this, but their left will be over their right, showing that they're down with a secret society, Baphomet, demons, devils, satanics. When you see that left or right, that means there are agents. That is a sign of an agent. And Moors do it all day. Watch their hands, watch their arm movements, watch their legs. If their right leg is over their left leg, that means that they're doing right. They're bringing in righteousness. If their left leg is over their right leg, they're bringing in negativity. They're bringing in satanic energy. This is what it is. This sign right here means I'm dealing with the physical. And when I got my rival left, that's showing the devil that I'm not down with the devil. Left or right, I'm down with the devil. This sign right here is showing you I am the physical master. I am physically the master on this earth. This sign right here saying I am spiritual master. Well, parts of that I'm the spirit. I'm dealing with the spirit. This means I'm the spiritual master. You see Pac do this. Pac do it. Jigga did it. I got a whole book of all the rappers shooting signs. I got some books out here that I'm selling also, and we'll get into that soon as I get done with these Masonic signs. But this sign right here means I'm dealing with the physical. We call that PS. This sign right here, I'm dealing with the spiritual. We call that SP. This sign right here means I'm the physical master. This sign means I'm the this sign right here means I'm the spiritual master. This sign means I'm the physical master. Now, when people are shooting these signs, if they're not holding their 90-degree square down, if they're going like this, they're not down with the Moors. They're not down with the sovereign Moors, because Moors do this. Moors have their legs out like this. You know what I'm saying? That means they're not sovereign. They're not free by birth. They're not dealing with their nationality. When they have their square down, they hold their square, they're on point. They're the real sovereign Moors, and they're doing with their nationality. If you see Noble Drew Ali picture, you'll see Noble Drew Ali like this. Holding his square down with his right hand over his heart, saying, I have a good heart. Fidelity. That's what this sign means. This sign means I'm striving for a good heart. You know what I'm saying?
This is a very powerful video. Very powerful video. I cannot confirm or deny anything that's about to be said in this video, but I most definitely want you guys to make sure that you're paying close attention to what she's about to say, man, because this is it right here.
I'm going to try to stay extremely mild with this topic because it is so deep. It can take forever. Okay, so as you can see, this topic is a very hot topic on social media. And I'm going to get on it because I'm going to break a few things down that people are not talking about. Now, Russia's real name is Tartaria. And the reason why is because Russia is on the lands of the Tartaria civilization. When they invaded Tartaria, they ended up calling it Russia after the invasion. Now, who is the Tartarians? They are the Titans. Who is the Titans? Every black and brown person you see globally. They are the primordial beings, the Netta. Now, as you can see, Russia just opened up their cellar that had books of black people. As you can see, they're behind closed doors worshiping who? You. while they got you looking outside of yourself, worshiping some white man. Y'all need to understand this is bigger than what you think. Russia is sitting on tons of knowledge, tons of books that comes from the Tartarian civilization, which is our ancient civilization. Everybody that you see in these books is all black. You don't see a blue-eyed person in sight. See, they know who you are. That's why they worship you behind closed doors. But they got you looking outside of yourself, keeping you confused and in a state of confusion, looking for some savior when you are the Christ, the anointed one. We're talking about a bloodline of primordial beings. Every black and brown person you see that is in this entire realm are the anointed ones. They are the Christ. And these people know that. We were considered the sacrificial lamb. They sacrificed our civilizations, our people, in order for their kind to live in this realm and to survive. They made our heaven into a hell and made our heaven their heaven. We was the ones, the Christ, that they had to sacrifice. Who you think they hung on trees? In the Old Testament, it tells you that they were hung on trees. It wasn't a cross, it was a tree. But in the New Testament, they say that it was a cross. It was your ancestors who died on a tree that they call the cross, that they hung on the cross, hung on the trees. Our people was the sacrificial lamb because they had to sacrifice us in order for them to survive in our realm. I need y'all to understand this is deeper than you will ever know. And the reason why all of this information is starting to come out is because we are in revelation. Revelation just means revealing what's hidden. So everything that is hidden is coming to the front. Ain't nothing gonna be left hidden. The truth will prevail, and it's coming out. Just a heads up, I'm not here for the dead. I am only here for the awakened.
Man, look, everything is starting to be revealed. That's what the age of Aquarius is all about. Okay? And see, one thing you have to understand is genetic annihilation is real and it's still taking place right now as we speak. Right now. So what I want to say is, children of the sun, wake up. Remember who you are. You are made up of 85% stardust. Okay? You are everything and everything is you. Okay? The time is now. And with that being said, man, I just want to leave you, man, as I came. I want you guys to always be aware. Because to be aware is to be alive. And as always, peace, family. Peace meaning positive energy always creates elevation. Ashe.
You know what plantation they've never shown us, Abby? The most prominent ones, the ones that were most profitable, the breeding plantations. Why don't you want to show us those? You know why? Because after the research that I did for this album, you realize that the moment that a girl menstruated, she was put in a stable where a horse would be and forcibly mated, by a male of the slave master's choice. And when she had children, they weren't called children, they were called a litter of pups. The punishment, being or killing a person in medieval Spain, is gelding. Gelding is when you take hot pincers and you take a man's balls and dick off root and stem. Killing a person, law of the Bible, right? Medieval Spain, super religious. You killed a man, he should be killed. Why? were indigenous and black people categorized as subhuman. So under the law, you would not be punished for the things that you did to us. That's why. You used to be proud, right? You used to be proud, white America, of murder. You used to be proud of colonization. You used to, wow, that made us tough. And then you got ashamed of it. And that's what you're dealing with. That's what America's dealing with, a schizophrenic crisis. There's a British manual, right, that was taken out of the British Museum because within the manual, it talked about how it was a weapon of war that should be used against the indigenous population. You're ashamed of that now. You're ashamed, right? Who was Christopher Columbus? His image has been so whitewashed, but he was trafficking little girls on an island. Who does that sound like, huh? All you right-wing defenders of Christopher Columbus and his legacy, he was trafficking 9-year-old indigenous girls on an island. Who does that remind you of, you intellectual coward? Just because liberals are dog shit doesn't mean that you shake hands with the devil, right? The same way I tell people all the time who are white working class people who hear about reparations for black people and automatically get upset. You know, they hear the word Africa and they're furious already. But the problem is this. The money doesn't come from you. No, it comes from the financial institutions that banked and built their stock exchange on labor, on the payback that they got from slavery. Because reparations is not actually what African people are asking for in this country. African American people are asking for the other half of reparations. You see, America already paid reparations at the end of the Civil War to slave owners. They gave them money per black person that they let free, and they refused to honor the people that were actually victimized. So until you do that, you will always be cursed, America. And you can call me a communist, a socialist, but you know what? It doesn't matter what you call me. You know that I'm right, right? And you know that I stand more for indigenous rights than I do for the European interpretation of a left-wing ideology that doesn't always work in a cookie-cutter scenario when you plug it into Latin America. Because at the end of the day, that was still being pushed by two large governmental entities that wanted to challenge the United States' control of the region. We're tired of being pawns.
Do y'all remember how Rashad Jamal said how the planet used to look before? How Atlantis was a real thing?
Your water was this color like it be in the Caribbean. We created the crystals. We used to have huge crystal towers that graced our entire realm. We had giant trees. Now they call them mountains.
Y'all want to get back to that ancient technology so we don't have to pay for electricity? Notice how the knowledge of free energy, meaning free electricity, is coming out now. Because this planet is getting back to what it used to be. They could literally pull free energy out of thin air. Energy is all around us. Electricity is inside of us. Electricity, energy, same thing. This is a little explanation of what it was back then.
Many people believe that this is just a temple or a place of worship. But really, its true function is to gather natural energy from the ether and convert it into electricity.
Called the Tartarian Empire, and it was technologically far superior. They were able to convert atmospheric pressure into electricity, and as a result of unlimited free energy.
But did you know that in fact, those ancient temples was ancient technology? We don't build temples like this anymore. We don't build buildings like this anymore. Because what if I told you that these ain't even temples? These are power stations.
Have been scamming us into paying for electricity our entire life. Remember how they said they took this information out of the history books? Scientists now discover how to make electricity out of thin air. Whoa! So it's bad enough that y'all already got us paying to be on land, to drink water. This whole time y'all been lying about electricity, and now y'all want to talk about it and say y'all can make it come out of thin air. Stop the cap. Now they're even making things where you can get electricity from salt water.
This portable lantern converts salt water into energy. Developed by Edina in collaboration with Wonderman Thompson of Colombia, the portable device called Waterlight needs to be filled with half a liter of seawater to emit up to 45 days of light.
So you telling me I can get 45 days worth of light from the ocean? I bet you we was already doing this and they took it away from us so they can make money off of us. Oh yeah, go ahead, work to pay your bills, to pay for electricity, that's free. Pay for water, that's free. Everything that is natural to this planet that's given to us, we gotta pay for it.
Water light works 24 hours a day. The process involves reaction of electrolytes with magnesium, which in turn produces electricity. The lanterns was designed specifically for the...
This whole time of people stressing in Sedona, Arizona, called the Sedona Energy Vortex. This is what it looks like. Now, do you want to see what it looks like? Pulsating energy. Literally recharging.
So you see, women that got very, very bad diets have very heavy detoxes. And the reason why you have very heavy detoxes is because the period or the menstrual cycle is the actual body, the feminine way of the body detoxing the reproductive organ every single month. You get what I'm saying? And you notice when women change their diet, or women get on a cleanse, or women start eating healthy or go raw, notice how their periods damn near disappear. They don't have pain no more. They don't have hemorrhaging no more. Literally, the vagina can hemorrhage, y'all, where big ass blood clots will come up out of that thing. But notice once she changed her diet into a livid, she don't have the minister cramping anymore. I ain't gotta say, go get some cramp bark, lady, go get some cramp bark. Go get some black cohosh. I don't have to really start saying these things no more because her diet have changed. So now she don't have a lot to detoxify out of her uterine wall, what you would call the endometrium lining of the uterus anymore.
We are non-ether beings, but we are extraterrestrial beings, and we do not come from the earth. We actually come from this cosmic realm. They done got new technology that done surfaced, that they done went deeper and deeper and deeper into DNA and genomes, and they found that Africans have a different DNA strand, y'all. About 50,000 years ago, ancient humans in what is known as West Africa apparently procreated with another group of ancient humans that scientists did not know exists. Hold on, let me say that again, boy. About 50,000 years ago, ancient humans in what is known as West Africa apparently procreated with another group of ancient humans that scientists didn't know existed. They aren't any bones or ancient DNA to prove it, but researchers says the evidence is in the genes of modern West Africans. It says they analyzed genetic material from hundreds of people from Nigeria and Sierra Leone and found signals of what they call ghost DNA from another ancestral line. And trying to research our blackness, they found out that it's a gene in us that they don't even know where it come from. And it traces back to the prokaryotic cell, and we're going to trace the prokaryotic cell back to different planetary systems in the galaxy. In the galaxy, family, not from Earth, showing you that we are the true extraterrestrial beings here on this planet. So if we can tap into our DNA, or what they call the junk DNA and all this other stuff, or the ghost DNA, notice they start changing the name of it because they don't know how to study it. If we can tap into that, and if we can localize into that and meditate on it and find a way to bring that to the surface collectively as a collective African consciousness, we can take back our freedom, y'all.
Okay, part 2 of why They Cloned Tyrone is not just a movie, and we need to pay the fuck attention. And by we, I mean we. So in the previous videos, I went through a couple clips and a couple scenes and basically showed the correlation between what really goes on and what the movie was saying. And those similarities are literally spot on. Like, they're not even similar, they're literally telling what goes on in the hoods of Black America. I want to talk about this scene specifically. In this scene, they basically go to the underground warehouse or office or whatever that is in the abandoned building in their neighborhood. The abandoned house, I should say, in their neighborhood. It's one of many. They go down to the basement where Fontaine finds his earlier self that was shot in the beginning of the movie with the bullet holes, and he is laying there dead. They then go on to find out that paper people are doing experiments and snatching people out of these black communities and taking them down below to this thing where they clone them and do experiments on them. This is why I say this movie is not lying. This reminds me of a dermatologist who was experimenting on black prisoners in North Carolina. He was legitimately doing unethical experiments on black prisoners specifically because he was aware of the population of the prison and that it was overpopulated, and he targeted black people. This is Albert Kilgerman. They call him one of the most evil men on the planet. Kilgerman unlawfully and unethically experimented on black prisoners without informed consent and actually used it as a joke. They said by the time he was done, there were hundreds of patients that had been knowingly affected with herpes, staph, athlete's foot, and dioxin. Dioxin is one of the components used to make Agent Orange. What is Agent Orange? Agent Orange was a herbicide created by the military that was used in herbal warfare. Yeah, that basically hurt an entire population. It hurt people's children, it hurt people, and caused deformities like this in offspring. It was used in the Vietnam War. Agent Orange is horrible, and for it to make someone's offspring or child to look like that, imagine what it did to these black people when it was directly injected. Which makes this even worse is that this man did this all the way from 1950 to 2010. They still go on to call him a legacy because of all the things he actually uncovered. He worked at Penn Medicine for a long time after doing these things. And if you know, Penn Medicine influences a lot of other companies like Johnson & Johnson, and the list goes on. They cloned Tyrone Pournelle. Specifically, these men who were experimenting were everywhere. They go on to say that these mixed race people who actually work for the man are embedded in ghettos to make sure that us black people stay asleep. He says that they are at the gas stations, they are feeding us food, they work for the hair salons, they own the beauty supply stops, and that they put all these chemicals in the weed that we smoke or other people smoke, because I don't smoke, and the alcohol consumption and the chicken and things that are literally propaganda in any black neighborhood. These people are not lying. They are literally putting this shit in our face, and the whole thing of the movie was, what are we gonna do about it, and are we gonna keep being asleep and keep going along with the bullshit that society is doing to us and the man and how they're keeping us down.
Understand that every disease comes from a mineral deficiency. Each mineral can be recovered through natural and non-GMO fruit and vegetable consumption. When the human body is burned after death, there are 12 minerals found in the remaining ashes, which are known as the 12 tissue cell salts. These 12 salts are directly correlated to the 12 zodiacal signs and specific parts of the human body from head to feet, and this can be learned by studying the astral chemical physiological chart. Before I get started, if you were born early in your sign, as an example, Aries is between March 21st and April 21st, and say you were born on March 25th, then you could be deficient in the cell salt specific to the sign that you were born in. In any case, you want to focus on the 3 cell salts that come after your sign, at which you were born in, as well as the sign that you were born in. March 21st to April 21st belongs to Aries and correlates to the head, or the cerebrum or cerebrum, which is the bigger brain and is the infant because it is the start of the agricultural year, and the cell salt correlated to this sign is potassium phosphate, which can be found in Brazil nuts. April 21st to May 21st belongs to Taurus and represents the cerebellum or the cerebellum, which is the little brain and represents the baby stage of the year, and the cell salt is sodium sulfate, which can be found in kale. May 21st to June 21st belongs to Gemini, and it represents the trachea that splits into 2, also represents lungs and the 2 arms, including the 2 hands, and represents the child stage of the year, and is related to the cell salt potassium chloride, which can be found in apples. June 21st to July 21st belongs to Cancer, and it represents the chest and correlates to the adolescent stage, and its cell salt is calcium fluoride, which can be found in mushrooms. July 21st to August 21st belongs to Leo, and it's the heart. That's why you hear the term heart of a lion, and represents the teen stage, and corresponding cell salt is magnesium phosphate, which can be found in cherries. August 23rd to September 22nd belongs to Virgo and is the stomach and represents the adult stage, and the cell salt correspondent is potassium sulfate, which can be found in onions. September 23rd to October 22nd belongs to Libra, which is the two kidneys representing marriage, and its corresponding cell salt is sodium phosphate, which can be found in cherry tomatoes. October 23rd to November 21st belongs to Scorpio, which is the reproductive organ or the generative system and represents the sexually active stages, and the cell salt related is calcium sulfate, which can be found in cucumbers. November 22nd to December 21st belongs to Sagittarius, which is the hips and represents the knowledgeable stages, and the corresponding cell salt is silica, which can be found in strawberries. December 22nd to January 19th belongs to Capricorn, which is the kneecaps and represents experience, and its corresponding cell salt is calcium phosphate, and this mineral can be found in dandelions. January 20th to February 18th belongs to Aquarius, which is the shins and represents idealism, and the cell salt related is sodium chloride, which can be found in figs. Last but not least, February 19th to March 20th belongs to Pisces, which is the feet and represents submission, as we submit our souls back to God, aka merging back with Source, and the corresponding cell salt to Pisces is iron phosphate, which can be found in blueberries. Now understand that you can further your knowledge in finding natural foods in correspondence with all of these specific cell salts. This is for the exact reason why I explained to you that you do not need protein, you need minerals. Minerals optimize organ function, and let me remind you to stay away from vitamins and minerals that are on these shelves at these drugstores, because they are made from a synthetic hydrogen cyanide cobalamin, which is a synthetic form of B complex, which your body does not know how to properly process, so the B complex will attach to light metals and oxygen in your body upon exiting, making you deficient. Your health is a business. Big Pharma is a multi-trillion-dollar industry. Do not treat your symptoms, cure them. For more information, you can check out my web course, Touching the Veil, where all the health information and fasting information is absolutely free. I've helped thousands of people, and it is my pleasure to help you too. I'll see you in the ether. Peace and love.
I don't jack religion because I know that the original religion of black people was solar science, as I call it. We understood for example, right, the 12 hours in a day. Yeah. You multiply that by 2 to give you 24. Right. Those are actually the 12 zodiac signs that we experience every 60 minutes. So for example, Virgo is the beginning of the zodiac on a solar scale. So when you're dealing with when you're dealing with the zodiac on a scale of months, it's Aries first. When you're dealing with it on a scale of solar system travel, it's Virgo. Now they say that the witching hour, or the hour on the planet Earth when paranormal activity is at its highest, is at 3:15 to 3:16 a.m. but specifically between 3 a.m. to 4 a.m. Now, why is that? That's because the planet comes into Virgo, and there's literally an electromagnetic flux that is pushed across the planet, and this frequency travels around the entire globe and powers the latitude and longitude lines of the planet Earth. Some of us call it ley lines, dragon lines, key lines, but these are real frequencies. Yes. And our ancestors not only understood these frequencies, they built their civilizations right underneath them.
Right.
And so when
nearly every major city in the United States is built on the crossroads of these ley lines.
That's right. And they got that template from us. And the reason I'm bringing that up is because now you see why they say, oh, astrology is the devil. Oh, Egypt is the devil. Oh, don't worship astrology. That's witchcraft. Anything that we did that made us powerful, they demonized the shit. And I want you to know why. Because our ancestors was not religious. This is why no matter what religion you read, it starts in Egypt, and it starts with the demonization of Egypt. Why do everybody hate Egypt so much? What the fuck did Egypt do to y'all? So you got to ask yourself, what really makes black people powerful? Our knowledge of science combined with spirituality. Not only were we spiritual, we were able to express our spirituality scientifically. And when you read about it, white people they'll get it misconstrued as if we worship the sun. Or it was, they'll say, oh, these people practice sun. We didn't worship no damn sun. We just knew that the sun was the source of all physical reality in life. And another thing I want to break down about the sun, of why we need to return to that, is because no other person on this planet Earth can reach the creator through the sun except for black people. And I'm going to give y'all an example, right? There's a process called ultra-fast internal conversion where the melanin, the neuromelanin, keyword, neuromelanin, only black people have neuromelanin. Non-black people have pheomelanin. Let's be clear on that. The neuromelanin in our skin can convert UV rays and other spectrums of the sun into evenly dispersed energy at a ratio of 99.9%. Nobody else's body can mechanically do that. So this is why they get sun cancer. So not only do we convert this energy evenly, what they also don't tell you is that we have the ability to perform human photosynthesis. So what human photosynthesis is when the melanated receptors in your skin take photons.
Melanocytes, yep.
That's right. When they take photons from the sun and convert it directly into food energy. And the way that we do this is because black people have the same chemical construct as plants. The only, difference is we have iron in our blood and plants have magnesium. If we were to switch them chemicals, we would turn green and plants would turn black. So black people are literally a plant people. Our teeth are herbivore based. We're meant to grind plants. We are literally humanoid plants because we're the only species that grew organically with the earth. And so the reason I tell white people we can't grow together or we can't learn together is because we're not the same. That don't mean we can't be friends. You go find out what's best for you and you go do that. I know what's best for me and it's in the sky and I need to return to that. And I can't return to that if I'm religious. I can't return to that if I'm an African American. I can't return to that if I'm taking vaccines and shit. And so my thing is, I'm just trying to return back to the knowledge that my ancestors passed down to me before somebody cut that transmission. Me trying to return to the throne that was left for me to sit on in the first place should not be seen as an act of hate because I stand firm in my human potential as a black person. That's like a turtle. Once again, I'm gonna go back to the turtle and the bird. That's like a turtle telling the bird, "Oh, you hate me because you don't want to live down here with me." Like, nah, bitch. Yeah. So what white people got to realize is we must part ways when it comes to our destinies. If you want to socialize, if you want to interact, if you want to kick it, if you want to eat and play and club and football and basketball and UFC, we can do that. But what we cannot do is go to the same college. We cannot continue to do that. We cannot continue to go to the same. If y'all want to vaccinate and do prescription drugs and shit like that, nigga, go ahead, have fun. but our ancestors told us to be holistic. Our ancestors told us to use herbs. Okay, y'all got, Dr. Oz. We got Dr. Sabi. You know what I'm saying? It just is what it is. I'm being honest. So that don't mean we want to beef with y'all. We don't want to beef with y'all. But I know myself. Yeah. Biologically and spiritually.
We need different things.
Yeah. And I'm not going to let nobody peer pressure me out of what I know. Yeah. Because her name is Anthony Fauci. Get the fuck out.
Here are the top 4 fruit juices to live forever. Up first, we have Tropical Glow. Pineapple, orange, mango. Bunch of vitamin C, makes your skin glow. Lymphatic booster, and it aids in digestion. Number 2, Berry Blast. Blueberries, strawberries, raspberries. Antioxidant booster. Free radical fighter. Heart health supporter. Cognitive function enhancer. One of my personal favorites. Heading in number 3, we got Citrus Zing. Grapefruit, lemon, lime. Vitamin A and potassium booster. Hydrates on the cellular level. Digestion aid. Natural energy booster, especially in the morning. Last but not least, number 4, Green Revive. Spinach, cucumber, apple, kiwi. Multivitamin, multi-mineral. Huge detoxifier. Boosts the metabolism like crazy. Healthy hair, healthy nails. And it's a rejuvenator. Now, don't be taking my recipes and not giving me no credit. But I ain't going to be stingy. I'm not going to be that person on TikTok that just don't share nothing. So these are my personal favorites. You can make it. It's all natural. Go crazy. Have fun. I hope this helped you out, friend. God bless. And you probably won't see me again unless you hit that follow button. So you already know what to do. Love y'all.
as what causes the frequency of fabrics. Via Dawn Treader. In 2003, a Jewish doctor named Heidi Yellen conducted a study on the frequencies of fabric. According to this study, the human body has a signature frequency of 100, and organic cotton is also the same. The study showed that if the number is lower than 100, it actually puts a strain on the body. A diseased, nearly dead person has a frequency of about 15, and that is where polyester, rayon, and silk register. Non-organic cotton registers a signature frequency of about 70. If the fabric has a higher frequency, it gives energy to the body. This is where linen comes in as a super fabric. Its frequency is 5,000. Wool is also 5,000, but when mixed together with linen, the frequencies cancel each other out and fall to 0. Even wearing a wool sweater on top of a linen outfit in a study collapsed the electrical field. The reason for this could be that the energy field of wool flows from left to right, while that of linen flows in the opposite direction, from right to left. I have observed that when I wear